Alright guys, what we have here is probably, I don't know, I didn't measure it, probably over 4 cups of mulberries that I just got out of my backyard today. And it's been a long time since I've had me some mulberry dumplings. And this is pretty much the cheater's way of doing it because I don't mix up the dough and all of that. I use biscuits. So what I have here is my mulberries, and I'm going to throw in these because I've got them in the fridge and I got to use them up. And the way I make blackberry dumplings is exactly the same way I make mulberry dumplings. So probably 3 cups of blackberries and 4 or more cups of mulberries. Now, mulberries have a lot of little stems on them. I don't know if you guys noticed that. You can take the time to cut all of those little bitty tiny stems off of there and just completely dye your hands purple. Or you can just leave them on because those stems really don't have much taste at all. And, I mean, it's just... the only thing that it's going to affect is the way your dumplings look because you're going to have all these little tiny stems in there. But it doesn't hurt nothing, guys. Seriously. Now, to this, I have about a half a cup of water. You really don't even need that. You just need a little bit of water in there just to help your berries cook. Because as they cook down, they're going to break apart and release all that great juice in there. I mean, that's most of what these berries are, is juice. So you're going to cook this down, and then what I do is put in and you know what, I'm actually not going to go ahead and cook them down. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in. It's a half of a cup of just regular sugar, and I'm also going to add in some biscuits. Now, if you want to do it like the way you ought to do it, you know, I guess. I don't know if I should say you even ought to do it. Just if you want to do it the old style way, then you got to mix your dough up for your dumplings, which you can use Bisquick and mix it up, or you can just use a little flour, just a pinch of salt, and just a little bit of butter and sugar, and just drop it in by about the half a teaspoonful. But I ain't gonna do that, so just get all of that stirred up, and it'll probably take about I don't know, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It depends on how fast you cook it. Just once these start breaking down and you've got more juice in here than you've got berry, then you add in your biscuits. And what I use for about this amount of berries, I'll use one of these small cans of biscuits. One of these. You know, not the jumbo biscuits, just a small can. Saved y'all the trouble of having to listen to me screech, because it scares me to death every time I pop a can of biscuits, y'all. So I just pinch them up into little pieces. You can roll them out, you can cut them up into little pieces so they're pretty. I don't care. I just use clean hands and pinch it up into little tiny pieces. Alright, we'll let these cook down pretty good, and once they get to where they're supposed to be, I'll come back and add the biscuits. You can put cinnamon in here if you want to. I'm not going to do that because not everybody in my household likes the cinnamon in there. So if you just make it simple like this, people can add other little things that they like. If they want extra sugar, they can put extra sugar. Something that's good is to just drizzle a little honey over it, or put you some ice cream, some vanilla ice cream. I'm pretty simple myself. I just like to dip out the dumplings and the berries, and I just eat it straight up like that. But alright, be back. Alright guys, so this is after about 15 minutes of cooking on medium. I tasted this, and honestly, y'all, this is the way I learned to cook. is by tasting everything and adding what you need as you go. So I tasted my juice from my berries, and it needed a little something. So I threw in a pinch of salt and about maybe another 1/4 of a cup of sugar. So we've got 3/4 of a cup of sugar in here now. And so look, all right, right now what I have in here is 3/4 of a cup of sugar, a pinch of salt. I also put in, because I forgot about doing this, I put in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, if you don't have as many berries as me, obviously you don't want to use as much sugar or as much vanilla. Just cut it in half. But yeah, here's what they look like. Now, you could go ahead and cook them a little bit longer, because there's still some that are pretty plump there, especially those blackberries. See, they're still pretty big, but I'm going to go ahead and put my dumplings in because I kind of want some of my berries intact. And let's see if I can do this without sloshing stuff everywhere, y'all. I broke those up and they've been sitting there for a hot minute, so I'm probably going to have to kind of tear them apart again. Now, if you want a prettier presentation with this, you can get them to this point, get your berries to this point, and obviously put them in something that you can put in the oven. But get your berries to this point, and then break up your dumplings and put it on the surface of your berries. Just stick them on the surface, spread them out, and put them in your oven and just bake them on low heat. And the biscuits will kind of puff up a little bit and kind of form a little bit of a crust. But I like them like this. Okay, so once you get them mixed in there pretty good, put your lid on, and you're going to cook them for about 15 more minutes. Probably about 15 more minutes to let the biscuits or your dumplings cook through. And really, from the look of mine, I could use a few more biscuits, but I'm not opening another can of biscuits because I'd probably only use half. So, and again, guys, I know this is not exact. I'm not a good teacher. I just thought I'd share this recipe because I don't see many recipes or pretty much anything. I mean, I can't find very much about doing mulberry dumplings or this type of dumplings of any sort, and I like this kind of cooking. I mean, if any of you guys have done this and you have any ideas of what to add to it, put in the comments down below, because I'd like to see more videos like this. There's a couple of YouTubers that I watch that cook like this. You know, they do the home style cooking. They don't do any of that fancy stuff where you can't find half the ingredients or it takes you half a day to cook it, you know. I don't want all that. I want the fast cook, great tasting, you know, recipes. So I'll come back whenever it's done. Alright guys, here it is all done. I just turned the heat off and let it cool down a bit. It cooked probably about 15 more minutes. It doesn't take very long. You can thicken this up more if you like. I don't mind it just a little runny. You can put this over top of vanilla ice cream. You can put vanilla ice cream on top of this. You can eat it as is. I'll probably eat it as is, to be honest with you. This is good with a little cinnamon in there. If you have any amaretto, a little bit of amaretto in here while it's cooking tastes good. Put you some nuts in here if you want, if it's too plain for you. I've put nuts in it before and it'd be good. You can put any kind of berry in here. Cherries are good in it. The tart cherries, oh, those are really good in here. I just wanted to show you guys like a really basic way to do it. I mean, you can't go wrong if you go basic, because you can always add something to basic. But if you make something really complicated, you know, you ain't going to be, you're just not going to be able to take away from it. So if you've got a bunch of picky eaters, basic is best, y'all. But this is really good just like this, because it's sweet. You've got just a little tart. You've got, you got some, you know, you got your bread in there. Oh, I also added a pat of butter because it needed a little something else. So I put just a smidge of butter in there. I'll put everything I added in here down below in the down bar if you're interested. But, I mean, this took, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes total to fix. No time at all, and it's really good. Alright, guys. Y'all have a good day.